the off week, and what things did you work on specifically during the off week?
Yeah, I think the off week is just a chance to first off get healthy. I think it's a week to get the training room a little bit more, just fine tune some things and get your body feeling back like the beginning of the season. That's the main thing for bye week, and also using time in practice to work on some things, just to work on making throws here or there, or stay after practice, working on extra throws, or getting time with guys, and just continue to just not losing that stride. I feel like we're hitting our stride and just not trying to lose that mentality, and just another week to prepare for Syracuse. That's what we really used it for, just to watch film all week and watch them play, watch them on Saturday against Clemson, and just use that week to get ahead.
Did they have Max said what? They had you taking notes during that game? Like, not just everybody, I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I think just that's the natural way to go about it. You're actually playing an opponent and you got a week off. You're gonna watch the whole game. I'll watch it pretty closely, not just watching as a fan. Kind of take the time to use that game, like Duke, Notre Dame, or some other games to watch as a fan. But really got a ball game to play, and you got to study them and see different things that we saw on film, maybe that we saw during that game. And Clemson, got a pretty similar type of offense, kind of balanced and a lot of same formations. So.
When you watch a game like that and you take notes, do you actually listen to the announcers or do you have it on mute?
Yeah, I'm not really listening to the announcers. I don't love doing that. Just they'll say some extra stuff, or I feel like it kind of gets you out of the mood, out of kind of the locked-in mode, because then you're kind of listening to things and they're off ranting about something. So just kind of, if it is probably low, just to see if they're saying anything. But really just kind of fine-tune and kind of just watch it like you're scrolling on the iPad watching film.
What was something that jumped out to you about Syracuse?
Yeah, I think Clemson. I think they got after. I think other than Syracuse turning the ball over, I think Syracuse good on D. They mix some stuff up. Mix some fronts up. They'll bring a little, some different variety of blitzes that we got to be able to handle. Stay in 2 high coverage and then mix up, play some man. So they got a lot of variety. And I think the DC's done a good job. And got some good players on defense. So we're going to have to be ready and bring a good game plan.
You were talking about turnovers, and Mac was talking about sudden change situations that come up in games, and that happened obviously in that Syracuse Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that? You had the early pick against Minnesota, able to come out home to a field goal. In the flow of a game and the way the game goes, how important are those sudden changes?
Oh, that's huge. I think it's something that not a lot of people across the country practice enough. And we try to here and there, but at the same time, it's tough. Props to our defense for that, and numerous different times. You hate to say it, but it's their job. If we happen to turn the ball over in their territory, to try to hold them to 3, and then it's our job if they get a turnover in their range to try to go get 7. So that's kind of just the back and forth of it, and I think that's wins and loses you ball games. Coach Brown always preached that on the board after a game. Points off turnovers, and that's huge. That's huge in really basketball too. So just find ways to eliminate turnovers and try to get them.
Drake, as you had a chance to really digest the first 4 games, what more do you think there is for kind of the offense to start to accomplish? I know several players throughout the course of this season have said there's so much more that we can attain and things like that. But as you've taken in this first 4 games, what would you kind of like to see more from the offense?
I think it's a good question. Other than really just not shooting ourselves in the foot and turn the ball over from me or I feel like we've done a pretty good job not holding penalty wise up front. So really just execute plays, execution. I feel like sometimes we stall. I think the big thing for me that I like to, I think we kind of working on, and Coach Brown's working on is, putting the game away, offensively. I think kind of at the end of the games, South Carolina we stalled out, Pitt we stalled out. So just find ways to end the game. Maybe Minnesota a little bit. I think we did a little better there, but just put them away, put that dagger, offensively to kind of, put the game out of reach.
Yeah. What's kind of the key to that from maybe a clock management standpoint?
Yeah, just kind of. At the same time, try to use the clock and get it down. But at the same time, play the same type of offense, and not change. Moving the ball and not just run the football and just open up and keep the same kind of mindset of trying to move the sticks and keep the ball moving.
Drake, I think you're completing almost like 73% of your passes. It's well over 70. Like, is that number higher than you even expected? I know you're sort of a perfectionist with some of the accuracy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
TD to interception ratio, that type of thing. But is completion percentage, is that kind of beyond what you would expect to be through 4 games to have 73% completion?
No, I think part of it's game plan and part of it's just taking what they give me and then not being afraid to check it down and take 3 and 4 yard gains. Or I think we do a nice job of kind of getting some toss sweep stuff that helps out the completion percentage and stuff, the shovel passes and some of the back stuff. But at the same time, I feel like I've missed probably a handful, 10 to 20 throws that that completion could even be higher. I can think about at least 6 or 7 right now off the top of my head. So, it's always good to be able to run football too. That opens up the passing game. It makes those dudes more open. So it's my job to hit them. But I think completion percentage is I wouldn't say it's an overrated stat, but at the same time I think it's important to I feel like we're throwing it. I feel like we got a good chance of completing it, in my opinion.
Drake, we were joking with JJ a couple of weeks back that that deep post that seemed to be his route, and then he goes out and gets hit and kind of goes off and has one of his best games to date. What does it mean for you to see him kind of prosper like that? And what does it mean for the offense for him to take that next step?
It's huge. One of the big things was, kind of after I committed here, just kind of get receivers, and Kobe committed right after, and Gavin was later that. I think maybe in December on his birthday, Gavin committed, but I recruited JJ hard, trying to get him. I think a lot of people sleep on his speed. He's a big dude, he can run. I think, when he's got a post, I think he's kind of, I think maybe 4 for 4 or 5 for 5, off the top of my head. But I remember last year, he was on the left side. I missed him 3 or 4 times for touchdowns, and I could just, think back. I was telling the quarterbacks those posts on the right, and I feel like I got a pretty good feel for those right now. And he's doing a great job of catching them. I joked with him about, turning some of them into touchdowns. I don't think any of them have been touchdowns. He's getting hawked a little bit, but he's doing a great job of getting open, and he's sure-handed. He's been telling me, we're trying to catch it first. So, it's glad to see 5 out there on the post. It's a pretty good feeling.
You guys have 14 touchdowns and 17 red zone trips, 11 of them on the ground. What's been the difference this year?
Yeah, they emphasize running football, up front in the red zone, and that's big. Last year, I feel like down there we had to throw it to score, and it's kind of probably like to see, we threw a lot more touchdowns in the red zone, a lot more, close down up there touchdowns, and this year I just asked him how many tutties he had. I think he has like 7, and off the top of my head, I think one against App State was a big one, and another one against App State in overtime was a big one. But other than that, I think most of them were up close up front, like within the 5 or 10 yard line. So he's doing a nice job. It's tough to bring down him and BB, and I think even I got 3 or 4 down there. So just trying to run the football inside it, and if they give us the man stuff, we'll try to hurt them.
Last year, the touchdown rate kind of dropped late in the year in the red zone. Because you guys are running it in there so much, do you anticipate teams are going to defend that specifically, so we'll open up more things for you?
For sure, yeah, I do anticipate it. I think obviously they're going to try to stop the run. I think the big thing defensively is that they want to give up, rush touchdowns down there. So, I'm sure they'll try to stop the run, and that's where I feel like we'll be able to, do some play action or throw up some fades on the outside, or just hit them with some stuff, off the run that will get guys in main coverage.
Do you think I'll go with a quick part. Do you think Cope is back to being fine to catch the ball now? I think he caught a couple passes that hit.
Yeah, he caught a few. He gets mad because I throw it a little bit, that trick play, but I think he's back. He's catching it great all week. He's sure-handed. Using sure-handed with that cast on. I feel like he's catching a great practice. So he's back, and I think the big thing with him was they want to be comfortable blocking with it, and that's a big deal. And I think once he gets back to more confidence, he's a good player for us.
Did anyone try to say, hey, you should sit a game out? Because, look, the one game, the app game, he's got the club on his
he's just sitting there, just run plays. No, I think it's just this type of, toughness, growing up, from, Southern kid, and just kind of mentality that, we're trying to, set, and I think it's one of the things of being hurt, one of the things of being injured, and I feel like he felt like he was hurt, but really he's injured, but he felt like he wanted to play, and respect a guy like that. It's a good battle for a guy like that.
Sorry about that.
Okay, for you?
My apologies.
So, Jack, I saw you at the burger place last week. Big crowd. Was that a product of being in the bye week that you could get that in?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
The number of those, and the big guy, and RJ, and Cadeau there, and you're all sitting together having a good time. So, how did that? I know they set it up, but how did it come about where you were there and the basketball guys were there?
Yeah, just using that time, not only just help work or help raise money for us, but spread awareness for autism. I think it was a great kind of a great event. At the local burger spot, Town Hall Burger, it's a great spot, and those people in there are awesome. And it was an opportunity, like I said, to spread something, not on us, but also on spreading autism awareness. People, numerous kids, even some with autism came up and were there and take pictures, sign autographs, and just things that reach out and get back in the community. And just also, like I said, opportunity for a little bit of football and basketball guys to mingle a little bit. So it's good seeing guys like that and kind of all of us being in one spot.
Do you have time? do that when there's, you have time to do that when there's a game?
Yeah, not during the week. Yeah, I try to do all that stuff in the bye week, get it out of the way, and just focus on ball.
Last one, JC.
Drake, speaking of that bye week, Matt was saying yesterday that, the energy in practice from you guys was at an extreme level or whatnot, and you guys are definitely not, getting to that level of complacency.
Yeah.
Telling this coaching staff to approach, October as if you guys are 0-4 instead of 4-0. I'm wondering how that's being received, by the
For sure.
players, and is that, a reason why the energy was so high during the bye week and how that's carrying over into this week?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. The main thing is, like you said, not getting complacent. With the 4-0 record, we want to stay undefeated. Have our name, keep climbing up the ranks, and but at the same time, everybody feel like they got that Georgia Tech game in the back of their head. One of those instances where we laid an egg and just don't want, not give our best effort going into a huge game at home. Another, kind of restart the ACC tone setter. We set it at Pitt and kind of keep that ball rolling. And at the end of the day, it's kind of easy to bring energy. When you're winning, and positive vibes 4-0, so keep that vibe.
I need to get this one.
Totally up to you, Drake.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Thank you. Sorry.
Your limit is 5 today.
In terms of tests,
Yeah.
do you think you guys as a team, players, do you all consider that closed? Is that over or is that still ongoing?
I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of up in the air. We're fighting. I'm still sure. I think we got some things still trying the works going for them to try to get eligible. I'm sure that they weren't going to stop until at least something's figured out. Obviously they ruled them ineligible for the season, but I'm certain some legal processes. It's above my pay grade around here. But at the same time, I think we heard the news about him playing after school ends, and that's what we're focused on. And he's done a great job of coming out here and practicing and throwing our mouth on air and being on the scout team. And props to him for still coming every day, putting a smile on his face, and still being as well.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, Drake.